Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And a special thank you to all my night owls that decided to tune in as well. It's your boy, I'm back, dishing out dimes and looking to assist hope all as well, because God is good all the time. Welcome to another segment of the Bloodstream Podcast. I'm your host, the one and only Jesse Jack Frost Green. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome, welcome, welcome. For any of my returning listeners, welcome back. So let's get started. It's a new week with new opportunities and a new month on the horizon. Before we get started, I'm praying that everyone's had a blessed week, a clean bill of health, and your financial situation is looking promising. No matter your circumstances, people that are spiritually connected are contagious. So continue to spread the message and share your love to those individuals and families that might be in a less fortunate role. So let's quickly recap last episode for any first-time listeners. On the last episode, we discussed 1 Peter 5:5. You younger men, likewise, be the subject to your elders. All of you clothe yourselves with humility toward one another. For God is opposed to the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Basically, the last episode was about how I gained respect from other teachers, administrators, and parents from afar when I was basically trying to gain respect from my peers. And all in all, it worked out for the best. And for part 3, I know that you guys have been waiting, wondering where I've been, what's going on. And let's just say I've been getting better behind the scenes. This past week and the weekend, I took a personal development course with the lovely Miss Lisa Nichols. And God sent is what I can say. God sent, man. If you guys are looking to advance mentally, advance emotionally, and advance spiritually, definitely take a personal development course, read a book, whatever the case may be. And if you got the chance, definitely check out Miss Lisa Nichols. Just blown away. I know she may not have the opportunity to watch this, but during this past week and the weekend, I was able to get some a lot of golden nuggets and tools to help me move forward. And knowing that the things that we were talking about and discussing, I've already been doing. I've already went through, and I got to continue to do that. And that's what it's about. It's about establishing some momentum and keeping that foot on the accelerator. And since I've done that, I can't quit now, man. I got to keep going. And Miss Lisa Nichols, like I said, I know you may not watch this or have the opportunity to. Just know your boy back in the driver's seat, and I'm putting that seatbelt on and I'm ready to ride. So let's get into part 3. You know what I'm talking about? I know telling the truth is hard to digest. It's like adjusting to a healthier diet. It's unsettling to know that some of those lies we keep telling ourselves and those excuses we keep hanging on to are like some of those hidden sugars we find in some of our food and drinks we consume on a daily basis. Starting over is scary at any age. I've had to hit the reset button numerous of times. And each time that I did, I learned something new about myself. And I gained confidence. It gave me a sense of direction of what was to come. When we don't try, we fail. And the pain we experience from failure is only temporary. We control the model of consistency and moderation. Aren't we all past due and living our best lives? The key in adjusting to a healthier diet is simple. Courage creates change. Change in which leads to compassion, patience, love, and perseverance. Don't try and self-sabotage the new method because fear and stubbornness and all those negatives won't allow you to adapt. Ask yourself this question. Where have you been the most resistant to change in your life? I was asked to speak on a couple of questions from some of the listeners, and I appreciate the feedback, topic of choice, and or advice you may be needing. With anything we do, it's a risk and a reward. It's a risk anytime advice is given or asked, because the fear of being held responsible if it doesn't work. But the reward is so great. But the reward is We both step out of our comfort zones, try something different, and despite the outcome, we win because we took that leap out of our comfort zones and tried something different. We don't have to listen to someone else saying, oh, I did this or I did that, or, whatever the case may be. It's like, look, I tried it. I'm going to tell you from my own personal experience, and that's a win. Anytime that you have any type of personal experience, that's a win because you're able to help someone else if you choose to use that platform and use your voice. Because we all have a voice. It's just a matter on how you choose to use it, The questions that I was asked, I kind of made into one big question. What are the steps that I can take to become more proactive in making our goals tangible? I've heard so many different ways that work from numerous individuals, but the difference is that they tried and tried and tried until they found one. I got an acronym, FIF, FIF. Failure is feedback. We all need feedback. No matter if it's positive or negative, we all need feedback and that reassurance. So I got a model that I created, and it's got 5 steps in it. It's called the 3 R's: rejuvenate, replenish, and restore. The first step is to rejuvenate that belief. Mark 9:23. Everything is possible for the one who believes. This is very true. If you believe, you shall achieve. How cliche it may sound, it's very true. Because all the individuals that we may look up to and aspire and admire, they done the same thing. They believed. Because there's no difference between me and you or you and them. It's just the belief. It's taking that leap of faith and coming out your comfort zone and keeping that momentum. Because failure is feedback. We all need it, man. Like I said, we all need it. We confidently profess our faith until tested, then find ourselves slipping into doubt. In times like these, we must be honest about our faith, praying for God to strengthen it. Only then can God truly begin the healing process. The second step is to define what your goals are. Be specific and have clarity, because confusion will cause procrastination. Pretty much that's self-explanatory. I'll read that one again. Define what your goals are, be specific, and have clarity, because confusion will cause procrastination. The third step is to replenish your identity and surround yourself with mentors. The reason why I say that is because we all go through different changes, stages, and experiences in our lives. The more positive influences that we have, that we can relate to or with, gives us the positive reinforcement to become better. I'll read that one again. Replenish your identity and surround yourself with mentors. We all go through different stages, changes, and experiences in our lives. The more positive influences that we can relate to or with will give us the positive reinforcement to become better. The fourth step is to commit to change. The only way we can commit to change is to see results. The best way to see results is to set ourselves up for success. Start small and gain momentum. Once you gain that momentum, don't quit. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Failure is feedback. Failure is feedback. Just remember that. The last and final step is to restore that self-discipline and become organized. Sports taught me a lot about being disciplined and being organized. Growing up in a sports family, these things were engraved in my DNA. As a former professional and collegiate athlete, discipline equals consistency. Build a resume of good days at practice and in the classroom. Also, that same momentum carried over to what I ate, when I was getting my rest, what I was doing behind closed door when nobody was looking. that process took a lot of time for me to understand, because my values came through my trials and tribulations. Sometimes it's laid out for us, but we tend to make things more difficult than necessary. I always showed signs of being organized, but never fully understood it until I became a coach. Being organized can help you psychologically, reduce stress, help you gain a sense of control, and reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed. And save time is the biggest one. Honestly, save a lot of time, because it can save a lot of time, man. A lot of time, a lot of frustration, and just a lot of just negativity, man. It can just save you so much, man, just being organized. And I thank my former junior college head coach for being repetitive and saying that over and over until the point where I got sick and tired of being sick and tired of hearing it. And ultimately, it was engraved in my DNA now of being organized, because, man, I'm just appreciative of him doing that. I really am. And he may not hear this podcast, and he may not see the video, but I want to thank him as well. He definitely gave me a lot of, or gave us a lot of golden nuggets to and tools that we could use. You know, maybe his approach was different than we were used to, but the meaning behind it carried a lot of weight. And because time is that one thing that money can't buy. And if we're able to save time by applying these few steps, just maybe you or someone you might know could gain a new perspective of how to transition into the new you. But before I go, guys, clear my throat. There we go. I'm back now. But before I go, just want to leave you guys with a little bit of homework to get you jump started in the right direction. I want you guys to make a list of your biggest fears. Let's pinpoint what triggers them and send them to me as soon as you can. Let's work together on how we can eliminate one of those fears one at a time. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully I left you something to chew on until the next episode. Look, hearing your feedback, topic of choice, and or advice you may be needing. Just remember, I'm just an imaginary little brother giving you advice. Outlast the average bloodstream. It's the core of who you are.